Don't let your childhood die. The topic of this video is going to be about how you should not let your childhood die. This is super important. Typically, when we're young, right, we tend to like certain things, like, I don't know, we like playing games and we like watching cartoons and stuff like this and movies and whatever. Then as we get older, we tend to like kind of move away from like these types of things that we like when we're little, and we tend to go for something different. And I'm here to tell you that you should not let your childhood die, so to speak. All the types of all the interests that you had when you were like a kid, all the stuff that you liked when you were like just a kid, just a little boy or girl, all those types of things that you liked when you were just a little kid or boy or girl. Obviously, be sensible, don't be a dumbass. I'm not saying that, oh, you need to be like a man-child and you need to like wear like clothes that are designed for children and stuff and be kind of like a retard. I'm not saying like that, but don't let your childhood die. I'm obviously, when I say that, I'm not telling you to be like a dumbass, be a man-child and have like I don't know, wear like cartoons, t-shirts, I don't know, maybe you should do that, I don't know, maybe that's alright, I don't know, but you'll like be like a man-child, something like that. Obviously, as you mature, as you get older, you need to like kind of fix up a little bit and kind of change your interests, obviously, a little bit. Because you're not a little boy, girl anymore when you're like a full-grown man. It's kind of, but still, you should not let your childhood die. Don't let your childhood die. All the things that you liked when you were like a little boy, girl, teenager, and stuff like that, don't let these things die out. Don't give up on the things that you used to like when you were younger, just because you feel like you feel pressured to change and to become different and to kind of man up and become someone else, to turn to a different person. Don't let your childhood die. All the things that you used to cherish when you were like a little boy, girl, maybe a teenager as well, all those things, you can keep them with you into adulthood. And I'm telling you, if you keep these things, like all the things that you used to cherish when you were a little boy, girl, a teenager, if you keep these things with you into adulthood, you're going to be so much better off. You're going to feel so much more comforted. The psychological value of having these types of things, these things that you had when you were like a little boy, girl, maybe a teenager, these types of things, having them with you into adulthood, it's going to give you so much comfort, so much psychological ease. I don't know, the psychological value is going to be so tremendous. Typically, like a lot of us, we're little boys, girls, then we become like teenagers, blah blah blah, then we turn into men and women. In between this, like typically we like, as when like most people turn into men and women, like when they become full-grown adults, they start to, like, they get depressed and they start smoking cigarettes and their lives are shitty and they're depressed and they don't wonder why. The reason why is because you gave up on your childhood. All the things that you used to like when you and cherish when you were like a little boy, girl, a teenager and stuff, you just threw all of that away and now you're left with nothing to comfort you with it, and you're just gonna resort to like drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes and stuff and other types of things. Obviously, I'm not telling you to be a dumbass and to like be a dumbass and become a man-child. I'm not saying that. You don't need to be like a man-child. Or maybe you should. You might want to do that. I don't know. Maybe it's up to you. If that makes you happy, you want to be a man-child and you want to wear like over like children's outfits. I don't know, children's clothes. I don't know. You want to be like a kid, pretend like you're a full-grown adult, but you want to pretend like you're a little boy or girl. I don't know. If you want to do that, it's kind of freaky. I'm not like you know, when you were little, and like, especially for me, when I was like a little boy. And when I was like a younger teenager, I used to play video games quite a lot, and I still play it. Obviously, I'm not as much. I kind of cut it out a lot, especially because I'm trying to self-improve and stuff like that. Because if you play games, it kind of throws your entire life off. You're putting your time onto like the virtual world, and it's kind of somewhat dumb. It's kind of retarded to do that, to put your time on so much time and energy and like commitments onto the virtual world, and to not put that onto the real world. It's kind of very retarded indeed. But you know, don't let your childhood die. Don't become like a stubborn dickhead adult, basically. Typically when a lot of us, when we mature, we turn into stubborn dickheads and stuff, and we just start smoking cigarettes and caring about things like money and stuff, and we put on nice little neat little what's it called, business suits and stuff, and we go to work and we come back home and then we wish that we were sort of just dead. I don't know, a lot of us, I see, you know, when I'm in the city center, I see so many people smoking cigarettes, and the reason why is because they're clearly depressed and a little bit suicidal. Why would you smoke cigarettes? Even if it gives you some temporary release, it doesn't fix your problems and stuff. Don't let your childhood die. Don't turn into like some type of stubborn dickhead adult. Obviously, I'm not telling you to be a dumbass and that you need to pretend like you're a little boy and girl, younger teenager. Obviously you need to mature, obviously, but you don't need to like all these types of things that you used to cherish when you were a little boy, girl, teenager, you know, especially for me, like cartoons, video games and stuff like that. video games, cartoons, and all these types of things, and different types of genres of things like that. You know, like action figures. Still got a couple of action figures. Still into action figures. I don't know. There you are, Venom, Spider-Man, bunch of like some of my favorite video game characters. Sonic the Hedgehog. You don't need to throw all of this in the bin. Obviously, don't be a dumbass. I'm not telling you that you need to pretend like you're still a little boy, girl, a young teenager. If you're like a full-grown man and woman, obviously you need to like sort of mature and stuff like that. Don't be a dumbass. Don't be a dumbass pretending like you're like a little boy. But you don't need to get rid of like your childhood, right, and stuff. That's what I'm basically saying. Don't let your childhood die. You don't need to like turn into some type of stubborn dickhead adult. And you don't really, all you do is like you go to work in a business suit and you come back home and you smoke cigarettes and you wish you were dead and you drink alcohol. It sounds like I'm just being kind of a retard. Like, well, who does that? Like, a lot of people do that. They put on their business suits, they go to work and they smoke cigarettes and then they come back home and drink alcohol and they continue smoking cigarettes and they wish they were dead. Do you want to be like that? I don't know, maybe you do. Obviously, when I'm saying like don't let your childhood die, I'm not telling you to be some type of dumbass. Be a man-child and stuff, be a dumbass. Don't like sort of mature. Obviously, you can't pretend like you're a little boy and girl or a younger teenager. That's gonna be so cringy and fucking creepy and stupid. But you don't need to let go of like a lot of the things that you used to like when you were like a little boy, girl, younger teenager. You don't need to let go of those things. You can keep those things with you into adulthood. Look, I still have action figures and shit. All the things I used to like, video games and stuff like that. I got the PS5 there and some PS4 games. I still got these things. I got some PS2 games, PS1. All the things I used to like when I was younger. When I was like a little boy and girl, a little boy, because when I was a little boy and a younger teenager, I was into like video game consoles, video games in general and stuff like that, action figures and stuff like that as well. I still fuck with that now. Look at that. I still fuck with that shit. I still fuck with it. I still fuck with that even like now as like I'm currently 19. I'm about to be 20. I still fuck with that right now. You don't need to let your childhood die. You don't need to let your childhood die. Obviously, I'm not telling you to be a dumbass and to like be like a man-child and stuff and to not mature in any way. Obviously, you can't pretend like you're still a little boy, little girl, little younger teenager. You're going around the world pretending like you're a young boy, a young girl, little younger teenager and stuff like that. You can't be a dumbass. I'm not telling you to be a dumbass in that way, but you don't need to let go of these types of things that you used to enjoy when you were younger. Obviously, as you get older, obviously your interests obviously are going to change, and obviously you're going to become kind of a different person and stuff. And I understand that you might want to let these types of things go, and you probably should if you believe that will improve your life. Then obviously you should let go of these types of things. In my opinion, I believe that I'll be better off just keeping these things with me until I die. Basically, I don't know. You don't need to let go of the things they used to like when you were younger. That's basically what I'm saying. Don't let your childhood die. I don't know. Don't be a dumbass though. Don't be like a man-child. You're going to have to mature as you get older, obviously, and your interests are going to change, and you're going to become a little bit of a different person. But you don't need to let these types of things go. Like all the stuff that you used to like when you were little. I used to like watching anime, cartoons, video games, action figures. I used to like all these types of things, and they're still with me right now. As I'm entering into adulthood, I'm still like a teenager. I'm 19. Still got my last teen year. About to be 20 though. Which is fucking horrible. That's so horrible and sad. But anyway, that's kind of off topic. Well, but don't let your childhood die. Don't be a dumbass. Look at all these types of people, these stubborn dickhead people, these like adults, like these people, these like people like the stubborn dickhead. Like a lot of us, when we turn into like full-grown adults, a lot of us we just turn into stubborn dickheads. We just wear business suits and we go to work and we come back home and we smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, not care about our health because we're fucking depressed and miserable and stuff. And then we wish we were dead. And then this kind of becomes a cycle. Then we put on our business suits and we go to work and stuff and come back and we still have our business suits and we smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol. It's all this type of thing. Do you want to be like that? Do you want to be like a stubborn dickhead? Like so many people, when they turn into adults, they turn into stubborn dickheads, and they're depressed and miserable, and they smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol. Do you want to be like that? Do you want to be these types of people? I don't know. Maybe you do want to be a stubborn dickhead, a depressed faggot that wants to like kill himself. I don't know. And so you smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol. I don't know. Do you want to be like that? I don't know. Maybe you do want to be like that, or maybe you want to be like a stubborn dickhead. Obviously, don't let your childhood die. Don't be a dumbass. I'm not telling you that you need to be a man-child. And you need to pretend like you're still a little boy, a little girl. Obviously, as you get older, you're going to have to mature. Don't be I'm not telling you to be a dumbass. But you don't need to let go of the things that you used to like when you were younger, like a little boy, little girl, teenager. You don't need to let go of these types of things. These things, they made you happy when you were little and stuff. And that they can still bring you some type of happiness as you get older and stuff. And that's what I'm trying to get at in this video. You don't need to let your childhood die. so many people, when they turn into adults, they turn into stubborn dickheads and stuff, and they become depressed losers, and they start smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol, and they put on business suits and they go to work and they come back home and they're depressed and stuff, and they still smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, and they sort of wish that they were dead, but they keep going with that type of lifestyle anyway. You're obviously, don't let your childhood die. I'm not telling you that you need to become like a dumbass and be a man-child and pretend like you're a little boy and teenager. Obviously, you need to mature as a person. Obviously, as you get older, you're going to turn into a different person. Your interests are going to change. Obviously, all of that is true. So don't let your childhood die. Don't like so many like of us, when we turn into adults, we turn into stubborn dickheads and we start smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol, and etc. and etc. And I can go on, and we go to work, we put on business suits and we go to work, and then we come back home and we drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes. By the way, never ever get into the bad habit of smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. I don't know why people do that. Even if you're depressed, fair enough. There's other ways to like treat your depression, not by just fucking smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. I fucking hate it when I'm in the city center. I'm walking around the city center, and there's some of these like stubborn dickheads. They smoke cigarettes. They hate their life, but they want to, and I don't know, fair enough, if they want to kill themselves, I don't know, maybe they should just go and run around the road, not fucking smoke cigarettes in the city center area, and I have to breathe that shit in, and it fucking makes my mouth feel like shit, and I fucking hate it. And that's why, man, if you smoke cigarettes in the public area, you know, if you're into smoking cigarettes, just stay at home and smoke your cigarettes at home. I cannot explain to you like how annoying it is to go into the city center area and to just breathe in like the smoke, the secondhand smoke from all of these types of dickhead people that they just don't give a fuck about their health, and they want you to feel like shit as well, and they smoke in public areas and stuff. It's so annoying to me. If you don't care about your health and stuff, and you want to just smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, do it inside your house. Fucking hell, man, it makes it so hard to go around the city center and stuff when I'm there and stuff. These fucking dickheads, they smoke cigarettes in public. It's fucking so annoying. If you want to be a stubborn dickhead, I don't know, maybe you can be a stubborn dickhead inside your own house. I don't know. It's so annoying to me. But anyway, I don't want to keep talking about stubborn dickheads. You know, don't let your childhood die. I'm not saying be a dumbass and you need to fucking be a man child and stuff, and like I don't know, you obviously you need to mature as a person. Obviously, I'm not telling you to be a dumbass and be a man child and stuff and not let go of everything. Obviously, you might need to let go of some things. I don't know, depending on what they are. I don't know. Video games, like for me, that's like even when I was like a little boy, I used to be into video games, and still am into video games. I used to be into action figures when I was a little boy, teenager. I'm into action figures and stuff like that, and all these other types of things. Obviously, as you mature, your interests are going to change. I'm currently getting into literature and reading books and stuff like that. Obviously, as you get older, you're going to change as a person and stuff, and you're going to become a different person, and your interests are going to change. And you know, fair enough. But don't turn into like a stubborn dickhead. A lot of us, when we turn into adults, we become stubborn dickheads. And do you know what I mean by a stubborn dickhead? A lot of us, we just put on business suits, and then we go to work, and then we come back home, and then we start smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. And then we sort of wish we were dead. I don't know. If you want to do that, fair enough. If you want to be like a stubborn dickhead, fair enough. I don't know. I'm not going to yell at you if you want to become a stubborn dickhead, fair enough. Hopefully you don't want to become a stubborn dickhead. Hopefully you're a sensible person. I don't know. Maybe you want to be a stubborn dickhead. I don't know. So many of us, we just turn into stubborn dickheads. I don't know, smoke cigarettes, drinking alcohol. Okay, also, this is a side tangent. You know, again, when I was in the city center, so many people fucking smoke cigarettes, and it's so fucking annoying. It's so annoying, and to deal with that fucking bullshit that these fucking dickheads, they smoke cigarettes in the public area and stuff. If you want to do that, fair enough. I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna complain about you doing that. If you want to do that, fair enough. If you want to smoke cigarettes, if you don't give a shit about your health, if you're depressed and stuff like that, you want to smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, fair enough. At least do it in your own like house. Why do people go outside and smoke cigarettes in the public area? I don't know. Maybe I'm like, a lot of you will be like, whoa, where am I supposed to smoke my cigarettes? Where am I supposed to smoke them? I don't know. Am I just supposed to, like, if I smoke it in my house, the smoke's gonna get in the air? I have to go outside. I don't know. The smoke's just gonna go into my it's gonna just build up in my house. I don't know. It's fucking annoying to me though. I don't know. If you have to smoke cigarettes, I don't know, just go into some isolated place to do it. I don't know. Just don't do it in the city center. Don't do it where people walk, where people walk back home and stuff like that. I don't know. Like these malls and shopping centers. Why would you smoke fucking cigarettes? They're so dumb. If you're really depressed and sad, I don't know, maybe I don't know how to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about that. If you're super sad and depressed, because typically, like a lot of us, when we turn into adults, we turn into like very stubborn dickheads. We put on business suits and we go to work and come back home and we start smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol, and we get grumpy and moan and get angry and stuff like that. A lot of us, this happens to a lot of us. I'm not even kidding. I know it sounds like I'm just being like kind of like maybe a little bit inflammatory. I'm kind of being kind of like satirical. I don't know, but isn't this true that when a lot of us, when we turn into adults, we turn into stubborn dickheads. We start putting on our business suits, going to work, coming back home, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, getting all grumpy and angry and stuff, and bitching about people, bitching at people and getting angry and stuff. A lot of this happens. A lot of this applies to so many different types of people. Obviously, there are like outliers and exceptions. Some people, when they get older, they sort of become like monks. You know what I mean? But they become at peace with themselves. They enjoy life. They eat healthy food and stuff, and they exercise, and they're clean, and they're very hospitable and nice people. Some like that obviously, this is kind of like an exception. But a lot of us, we turn into stubborn dickheads. We go to work, we put on our business suits, and we go to work, and we come back home, and we start smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol and stuff, and that's quite a tragedy. I don't know. That's very tragic. That's a tragedy, isn't it? That so many of us, we turn into stubborn dickheads. We put on business suits and we go to work and we come back home and we smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol. Don't let your childhood die. Don't turn into a stubborn dickhead. If you like all the things that you used to cherish and like when you were like a little boy, little girl, teenager, all those types of things that you used to like and cherish, don't let those things go, because when you turn into an adult, if you don't have these things with you, you're just going to turn into a very stubborn dickhead person. You'll be very grumpy and angry and moany. You'll probably smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol like a dickhead. And you're going to sort of wish that you were dead inside. Damn, I'm coughing. I'm coughing up, boy. I'm coughing. Anyway, don't let your childhood die. I'm not telling you to be a dumbass, and I'm not telling you that you should not change in any specific way and stuff. You should not adapt yourself to adulthood and to kind of mature. I'm not telling you to not mature. I'm telling you that you can still keep some of the things that you used to like when you were a little boy, little girl, teenager. You can still keep those things with you, and they'll comfort you when you enter into adulthood. That's all I'm saying. They'll give you that type of extra comfort. You don't need to be a dumbass. I'm not saying be a man-child and not mature in any type of way. You can't pretend like you're a little boy when you're like a full-grown adult man. Or maybe you might want to pretend like you're a little boy. I don't know. It'd be very freaky and weird if you did that, though. I don't know. But don't let your childhood die. Obviously, you got to mature as a person and stuff like that. Obviously, your interests are going to change as you get older. Obviously. But you don't need to let go of everything that you used to like when you were like a little boy, teenager, and stuff like that. These things can still comfort you when you enter into adulthood. So many of us, when we turn into adults, we turn into stubborn dickheads. We put on business suits, and then we go to work and we come back home, and then we start smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol, which is kind of very funny. It's funny. That is so funny. A very dark, sad, tragic way. I don't know. Don't let your childhood die. I'm not telling you to be a dumbass, and I'm not saying that you should not mature as a person, as an individual when you enter into adulthood. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't mature as a person. I'm just saying that you don't need to let go of your childhood. Basically, all the things that you used to like when you were like a little boy and teenager and little boy, girl, whatever you are, teenager, blah blah. You don't need to let go of these types of things. A lot of us, when we become adults, we just turn into stubborn dickheads. We put on business suits, we go to work, come back home, smoke cigarettes, and drink alcohol, and that's quite that's a very sad thing to see indeed. It's very sad and depressing. I don't know. Don't let your childhood die. Don't let your childhood die. So many of us, when we turn into adults, we turn into stubborn dickheads, and we put on business suits, and we go to work, and we come back home, and we just start smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol, and we get grumpy and moany and angry at the world. And you wonder why that is. I don't know. Don't turn into a stubborn dickhead adult. Don't let your childhood die. You can still cherish the things that you used to like when you were like a younger boy, teenager, younger boy, girl, whatever you are. Don't let your childhood die. Obviously, I'm not telling you to be a dumbass. I'm not saying that you should not mature as a person. Obviously, you need to mature as a person, and your interests are going to change as well as you get older, and you're probably not going to be into the same types of things as you were when you were like a little boy. But you don't need to let go of these types of things, like all the things that you used to like when you were little. You don't need to throw them in the bin, so to speak. You can still keep them with you to comfort you and stuff. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you need to like not be a dumbass and become like a man-child and not mature in any way. Obviously, as you get older, you're gonna have to mature. Your interests are gonna change anyway, and stuff like that. But you don't need to let go of these types of things that were with you when you were like a little boy, younger teenager. These things, they brought you a lot of happiness when you were younger, and they can still bring you happiness as you enter into adulthood and stuff. And they'll comfort you as well, and they'll bring back so many like amazing memories, like priceless memories and stuff like that. I don't want to keep going on and on and on. Don't let your childhood die. Don't turn into a stubborn dickhead adult. Don't let your childhood die.